Hello everybody, welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. How is everybody? I hope everybody's recuperating from Christmas and it's that kind of leisurely, beautiful time where we get to just reflect and read and go for walks. It's really beautiful and sort of power back up for next week's work week if you're lucky enough to have the entire new year kind of week off. Which brings me to attitude. I love this. This is saying let's take a really close look at the way we interact with others. Although we should stand up for our rights and our ideals and our ideas, we also need to honor other people's positions, be respectful and be receptive of what's going on. Because what appears obvious to you may not be so obvious to other people. So when we go deep within ourselves and we ask, what is it that I need to observe within myself? Like, am I reactive? Am I already closing the door on their concepts? Stuff like that. And we can choose to act or react to any situation. It's the question of, do we fly off the handle when confronted with a difficult lesson? Do we take a deep breath? Do we center ourselves and consider what would be the best course of action? I was able to do this last night for myself. I remember Ian doesn't want one little thing in the sink for whatever reason, because he likes, to just go to a super hyper clean sink so he can wash every cup and glass as he's doing that. And he must have raised that topic about how we haven't been doing our dishes like 5 times, right? We were sitting down to watch The Witcher. And I could feel my body getting tighter and I was like getting a little reactive. Like, in my mind, it is not so important that every dish is done the second it's used. But then I considered his point of view, which is, okay, he does all the cooking, all the cleaning. He really does. It's one of those things he has an incentive to, because it's like he wants a clean kitchen for cooking, but the effort and the love that goes into all of it, then I just kind of held, like what would be reactive, like I'm not the one that's OCD, like that was coming to my tongue. And I just thought, you know what, he's putting all this love and effort in, so just take a breath and just say thank you for making the house look nice. And then it just stopped and everything was calm. It was no big deal, which I really liked. Remember, what you focus on is what you attract in your life. So carefully choose the kind of life that you want. The simple act of placing a smile on your face generates a chemical change within your body that brings about happier feelings, and others will also react to you in the way that reflects how you present yourself to them. Have you ever just walked in a room and you've seen that tight, constricted face, that posture, that body language that is like, I'm all about a volcano about to erupt? You're going to avoid that person, right? Absolutely. So another thing in the book, it says, make funny faces at yourself in the mirror all day. Like, make yourself laugh. I'll do that. I'll try. And one time, I'm not kidding you, I burst out laughing so hard. I walked by a full body mirror and I was in a rush for something. Like, in my mind, I had to hurry to do something. And I caught a look of my face and I just burst out laughing, because the face actually looked like a cartoon character that was like, my eyebrows were really high, my eyes were wide, my mouth, it's like that look of weird panic. And I thought, that's so funny. Like, all you have to do is go to the post office, and it made me laugh so hard. So that brings it, and then I was like, come, why don't you have a coffee break, which brings us into a coffee break. Now, the key word to this is appreciation. Sit back, appreciate your life, relax with a cup of coffee or tea. Make a point to consciously bring to mind all that you have to be grateful for. Consider your blessings. You have a place to sit, you have a cup to drink from, you have a drink to enjoy. What could be better? Really gaze upon your surroundings and see all that is around you. Are you not truly blessed? This fairy would love to have a leisurely cup of coffee with you. So often, we take for granted what we have, because we'll put something down. Like, I remember when I ordered fresh flowers Christmas Eve, so excited, beautiful bouquet. And then every time I went in the room, I appreciated and loved it. And I was smelling it and touching it and rearranging it and changing the water. And then it just dawned on me this morning, I went straight to the coffee maker and made coffee, and I didn't pause at these beautiful flowers that somebody had arranged with love and care, and a variety of roses and just everything that's gorgeous. And I was like, you're starting to take things for granted that are around you. I have a piece of selenite the size of my leg that I was so super excited about acquiring the other day, and then this morning I realized it was just set on the floor by one of the chairs. So appreciation, stop and taking into account what matters to us and caring for it. Remember to take the time to rejuvenate, and be sure to notice the smallest blessings. A wonderful fragrance on the wind, a butterfly flying by, a baby smile, a laugh, a subtle sigh, all of that. And this morning I put out a scoop of food for the birds, and I saw all the blue jays and all the beautiful birds come to feast, and that was beautiful for me. Which brings us to the birth of magic. This is one of my favorite cards. I just think it's so gorgeous. The egg just cracking open. This is to open up our heart and find the small child within us, the childlike joy, the trust, the awe that we get that sometimes stifles a little bit as we grow into adulthood. Remember to see the magic through the child's eyes and mind, and recall the spirit of that child who laughs and sings with abandon and just dance in the grocery store because the music is nice, that loves the essence and rejoices in nature, that acorn, that beautiful changing leaf, that gorgeous swan on a lake. We're really lucky we have this body of water that feeds off of the sound, and all the swans go there, and they're amazing. They come up on land, and there's actually a place where you can park and feed the swans. Totally beautiful. And also, if you have small children in your life, watch them and see how they respond to the world around them. They come from pure emotion and pure joy. Their excitement in even the smallest things, it's their soul rejoicing essentially in just being that chocolate chip cookie that they flip their absolute lid over and they become crazed over. Like, I love that. I love seeing a kid in a restaurant when some cake or something is placed in front of them. I feel like that. I just don't react like that, but I'm like, get that smile. Show your server how absorbed into it you are completely. It is possible that a small child is coming, into your life as well. And they bring those beautiful miracles of like just acceptance and unconditional love and excitement over a turtle. I remember I love this so much, and this is going to stay in my memory. I went to my son's second grade class like decades ago, and they did have a turtle in that class, and I really liked his teacher. He was a really smart fellow. And they were passing around the turtle. The turtle stayed in his shell, and Hagen was humming or doing something when the turtle came to him, and the turtle liked the sound and Hagen's vibe, and he just totally popped his neck out like really far and tried to like get closer to Hagen's face. And everybody was like, oh, wow. And it was that magical moment. And for days he talked about that. He's like, that turtle liked me. That turtle came out of his shell to say hello. And I thought, that is amazing. So those are all the beautiful little birthings of magic that are out there for us to observe and collect the warmth and unconditional love and excitement that's out there for all of us. So my beauties, that is what you are meant to hear today. If you're curious about this deck, it is the Fairy Wisdom Oracle. I love all the artwork. You guys, I'm sure, are familiar too with Amy Brown. Her artwork is so, so dreamy. And it was so funny. I didn't even know I was doing this last night, but a beautiful friend gave me this tapestry background. It's actually a scarf. And I was making jewelry, and I recognized that I was choosing colors that match this. Like subconsciously I was looking at it, and then I was like, oh my gosh, these beads in this piece match this exactly. And I was like, sometimes I do that. I'll lay out things and then I'll work in those color patterns that I see. So oftentimes just looking out my window and seeing the greens and browns and blues. And that's sort of the magic that's birthed too. We get a visual picture of something that's gorgeous, and it kind of permeates our soul, and then we create something from that. So my beauties, that is what you are meant to hear today. Love and light.